Well, I was born in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and grew up in a pretty traditional home where I had a really strong father figure in the house, and my mother was a great lady who really was a strong motherly, traditional mother figure as well. It's funny when I think about how I ended up actually getting saved. It was not through something that happened with my father. It was actually through a discussion that I had with my mother. She also mentioned to me that she couldn't do it for me. If that was something that I wanted to do, that I had to go do it myself. I ended up obviously with my love for golf. The thing I knew that I had to be involved in was golf. So I began teaching, and I found a real love for that because of all the interaction that I have with so many different people, so many different walks of life. And it's almost like you become a part of people's family. The other day, one of my students that I've worked with for about 8 years had come in and had mentioned that he had gotten a bad report from the doctor, because I could tell that in the lesson he wasn't quite himself, and that he told me that the doctors had found cancer on his lung. And I remember remarking to him that, hey, listen, I'm going to be praying for you, and I'm sure that the doctors will be able to go in and take care of this thing. And at that time, I remember he said, hey, whatever makes you happy, but that I believe in science and whatnot. And for his following lesson the very next week, I mentioned to him that, hey, you had 15 or so strangers who don't know who you are praying for you and your health in terms of the cancer situation. And the same guy who kind of just waved me off again till he broke down and cried like a baby. It was it was a powerful moment there. That even though this man is really not maybe seeking, I've always thought that no matter where you are in your life, you're always seeking. I started asking people that I knew from work if they wanted to get together on Tuesday nights at my house, and I just knew that of all the things that men face in life today, whether it be marital problems or financial problems or work problems, whatever it may be, that Christ has got to be the common thread that will help us get through all of those things. But some of the people that I meet at my particular job, I just don't know that I just don't know that they would ever come to inside the church. It was just way easier to say, hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we meet at my house? And open up my home, come over. They'll know Heather and they'll know Colby. But it's just easier to come to the house. And, when you're at a place where you feel safe, I think that's when you're most likely to open up about the things that are going on in your life and in your heart. Yeah, one of my really good friends that's attends the group, but not really this personal relationship with Christ, and I've seen him grow so much over the years. And it's funny now, I see him. He always has a Bible on the front dashboard of his truck, which I think is really cool. And maybe church, traditional church, and traditional religion sort of gets it backwards. They, say once you believe what we believe, then we'll allow you to belong. And Christ sort of said the opposite. He just said, "Come walk with me, and you can belong first." And the belief came later. I think that you have to sort of get down and dirty with where people are and what they're dealing with. where at the beginning of each session we go through and, I always sort of ask the broad question, hey, what's going on? How's it going? And then we just sort of go around in a circle. And maybe somebody's dealing with something so difficult, it actually ends up consuming the whole night, and we don't get to what was prepared. So there's something powerful in that as well, that people see that, hey, I'm willing to get down and dirty with you a little bit, and I'm going through this with you, and we're living life together. I really don't feel like I do anything other than host the group at my house. Once they get to the house and begin to go through the study and enjoy coming and establish relationships, I think it's just the power of the Holy Spirit that works in people. So it's interesting, as the weeks go on, we've actually been meeting at the house for over 3 years. I've heard the phrase before, most people would rather see a sermon than hear one any day. So, and that's something that I think that I would subscribe to. Most people want to see what you believe rather than be told what you believe.